If men realize this one specific thing, it would help us as men become better men. And this component that we're collectively missing out on as men is having emotional intelligence. Now, why does emotional intelligence for men even matter? And the reason why it matters as a man, if you're able to have emotional intelligence, this can truly transform your life and your relationships. So in this video, I'm going to deep dive into why emotional intelligence is important for men and how men we can use emotional intelligence to our advantage. Now, first, what is emotional intelligence? What is actually emotional intelligence? Now, what is emotional intelligence? I'm gonna break this down for you. All right. So emotional intelligence is the ability to understand, manage our emotions while being able to recognize, understand, and influence the emotions of others. So why is this even crucial as men? Like, why is it crucial that we have emotional intelligence? Now, traditionally, men, we have been socially suppressed in expressing our emotions. We have been given labels or sayings such as man up, don't cry, be tough. I'm pretty sure y'all heard these sayings before. Now, these words and these phrases, it can create a environment where emotional vulnerability is seen as a weakness. But here's the truth of the matter, right? Emotional intelligence is not a weakness. In fact, it is one of the greatest strengths that men can have. Now let's talk relationships, right? So whether it's romantic relationships, it's a friendship, work relationship, emotional intelligence, it just allows you to communicate better, resolve conflict better. It allows you to build trust. And if you think about it, a lot of issues men have in relationships, it actually stems from the inability to express or understand emotions. Now, when you are emotionally intelligent, like this is the benefit of being emotionally intelligent. When you are emotional intelligent, you break the cycle of anger, you break the cycle of miscommunication, and you break the cycle of jealousy. You know, jealousy is big for men. Like we don't know how to really communicate your emotions. Jealousy becomes the forefront. And this is why it's important to have emotional intelligence because it can eliminate jealousy before it spirals out of control. Now, emotional intelligence is made up of these four different things. The four different things are self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. Now I'm gonna break these four things down. Self-awareness is how do you feel about yourself? Self-management is asking the question, what do I control or what can I control? And not looking at what you cannot control. Social awareness, when we talk about emotional intelligence, is you being able to be aware of your surroundings and the people around you, in short, your environment, and understand how the outside world impacts your internal world. And relationship management is the connections that you make with other people, whether that is your friends, your family, coworkers, or anybody you make contact with. The more you understand these components specifically, the better you're equipped to navigate your own emotions and connect with others in a healthy way. Now you may be wondering, how do I actually develop emotional intelligence? Like how do I go about doing this, right? Now, fellas, here's a few steps I'm gonna give y'all. I'm gonna give y'all these few steps that's gonna help you actually build your emotional intelligence. Now, the first thing is practicing self-reflection. Now, what this looks like is taking time at the end of your day to really reflect on how you're feeling. When you're self-reflecting, what you're doing is you're asking yourself questions. You're asking yourself how you're feeling. You're asking yourself, hey, why am I angry right now? Or why am I sad? Or it doesn't even have to be those type of emotions. You can be like, hey, why am I happy? And what triggered that? What triggered the sadness? What triggered the anger? What triggered the happiness? What triggered the frustration? What happened for me to feel like this? By understanding the root cause of the emotion, you in turn are able to better manage your emotions, which helps you build emotional intelligence. Journaling is one of the most effective ways to help develop emotional intelligence, because what this allows you to do is ask those same questions even at the end of the day. Give yourself time to reflect. But the key with this is that you are reflecting without judgment. You're able to reflect on these things without having any judgment from other people. Now, the next thing I want to give y'all is active listening. Active listening. And let me break it down. Listening is different than hearing. Listening is different than hearing because when you are listening, you're really trying to be truly understanding of the emotions behind the words in which somebody may be speaking to you when they're communicating with you. Whether it's your partner, friend, or coworkers, when you're listening with empathy, you open up the door to have a deeper connection with somebody. Now, sometimes just being there and telling somebody, hey, I hear you, is more powerful than trying to find a solution to the problem which somebody may be sharing with you. Now, as men, we're naturally fixers. We want to try to solve the problem. We want to step in. We want to put our cape on. We want to make things better. Now, it's going to be very hard for men because we're not really wired to do that. We're wired to step in and help. We're wired to help solve the problem. But for you to say, hey, I hear you, I'm able to have empathy, I'm able to understand where you're coming from, can help you build emotional intelligence because now you're giving yourself the opportunity to process the emotions instead of trying to fix the problem. Lastly, learn to regulate your emotions. Learn to regulate your emotions. Like, we all experience frustration, we all experience anger, but it's a matter of how you respond to it as opposed to you experiencing it. So you can be upset, you can be frustrated. You have every right to be angry, fellas. Like, we have every right to be angry and frustrated. That is a feeling, but also when we talk about the behavior, what's behind it, we're not always able to make that deeper connection to like what's behind the anger. So what do? We allow that anger to come to the forefront. And now we're mad at everybody. Now we're being verbally abusive. Now we become physically combative. Now we become emotionally abusive. Now, when you're angry, it can be helpful for you just to take some time to breathe. Take some time to breathe. It sounds cliche. It sounds very elementary, but there's studies that have been showing that in moments of anxiety or in moments of frustration or stress, your body is actually lacking oxygen. So you need to make sure you're breathing so it can help you think clearly. Because when you have a lack of oxygen, you're not really thinking logically. You're using a lot of your emotions and you're reacting instead of responding. Emotional intelligence overall, it leads to having a healthy relationship and personal growth. Now, you'll find when you're able to better understand yourself, you are then in return able to better understand other people. If you're able to understand how you feel about things, it can help you develop empathy in which where you're able to better show up for other people and be able to have better connections and healthier relationships. At the end of the day, emotional intelligence is all about growth. It is really all about growth. And you have to take some time. It's not a sprint to get to the higher emotional intelligence. It's about taking these small steps into developing and growing the emotional intelligence because you can't expect to do it overnight. I would not expect you to have it all down compact by just watching this video. But in mastery and you being able to continue to practice when you have opportunities to be emotional intelligent is when you will instinctively respond better to certain situations, be able to be aware of your emotions. It will make you all around better as a man when you are emotionally intelligent. Now, with this growth, we're breaking social norms as what it is to be a man. We are not telling ourselves to bottle everything in. We're actually embracing and making this an opportunity to empower ourselves by being more emotionally aware as men. And it's not about always just being a better man. It's just really about being a better human being. Now, if you're ready to take this step to the marathon of becoming more emotionally intelligent, make sure you guys practice and apply the techniques that were described in this video. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Thank you guys so much. If you guys know somebody that can benefit from this, make sure you guys share it with them. Share this with a friend. Leave a comment. Let me know what y'all thoughts are when it comes to why men should be more emotionally intelligent. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Y'all take care. Peace.